Figuras, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a su podcast de Play Sports Podcast. Y en esta ocasión vamos a platicar con uno de los entrenadores de porteros más reconocidos en Estados Unidos. Tiene un congreso especializado para entrenadores de porteros ya mucho tiempo. Él es entrenador de portero del equipo de MLS Filadelfia y ha estado por todos lados. Es una eminencia y es un honor nosotros tenernos. Él es Phil Wheddon. Phil, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
So, I'm trying to do a resume of your curriculum, but it was difficult for me. So I just stated with the last part. Right now, you're a goalkeeper coach in Philadelphia, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Before that, where you were?
Well, I've been very fortunate to have a lot of different experiences. So I was in the MLS years ago, actually, with the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars back when Lothar Matthäus from Germany came over, and that was in 2000. So I've been working at different levels since then. I've been in the college game over here in the US. I've been fortunate to work with the women's national team.
Wow.
I went to two Olympics and a World Cup and two World Cups with the women. And
In the States?
In the States, yeah. And then I was with the men's national team as well through the World Cup cycle, leading into Germany in 2006.
Oh.
So I've worked on the women's game and the men's game, and now I'm fortunate enough for the last 4 years to be the director of goalkeeping and goalkeeper coach for the first team of the Philadelphia Union. So,
Nice. You went to a final, right?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Yeah, that's the game, isn't it? You know, we got all the way to the final. We were a minute and a half away from winning, and then this gentleman called Gareth Bale
Yes.
scored, and then we lost in penalties. So
but they talk very good about your goalkeeper, right? He's like in the top 3 goalkeepers in the league, right?
yeah, well, he's been in the last 3 years. He's been goalkeeper of the year twice.
Yeah.
So he's probably the best in MLS, honestly. And obviously, I might be a little bit biased, but I see him day in and day out. And he's the Jamaican national team goalkeeper, and he's phenomenal. So I'm lucky to be able to work with him on a daily basis.
Perfect, Phil. So, before we start talking about goalkeeping, I want to explain the audience more about yourself.
Okay.
So we can understand your background.
Okay.
Where you're from.
Where am I from? So I was born in England. Grew up in England, and I was a okay goalkeeper.
Okay.
And everyone's dream. Well, in England, a lot of young boys want to be professionals, so I tried to pursue that pathway. And again, I was okay. I was never going to play in the Premier League or anything like that. And then I actually came to America on a holiday, a working holiday.
Okay. You were young, or you were playing?
I was 20. I was 20. I just I had been training with a local professional team while going to college. So I got my degree in England, and I was training and with one of the local teams. Again, I wasn't quite good enough to be on a rostered goalkeeper, if you like. And then I came over here on a working holiday, which was I was running soccer camps.
Okay.
And then
By yourself?
No, it was for an organisation. Actually, it was that organisation turned into an organisation called MLS Soccer Camp. So it's kind of funny how it.
Really?
Yeah, that happened later. But now I just got offered one position and another position, and then I played over here just before the MLS started. So 94, 95, I was playing over here for a team called the New York Fever, and that at the time that was the highest level that you could play at over here. There was
in
no
the States.
MLS, yeah.
Okay.
And then I got, as luck would have it. So I was 25, and at the time, I actually got injured in training. I jammed my fingers, so just hurt my fingers, and one of my fingers never straightened.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's a little bit strange. So I went and saw a hand specialist, and then I was diagnosed with a tendon disease in my hands. So I've actually had 9 hand surgeries.
Wow.
So it's got nothing to do with goalkeeping.
It's nothing to do with...
No, I wish it was. I wish I could come up with some great stories, but...
You have to make one.
Yeah, I know. But my hand modeling career is over.
Yeah.
And when you're having a surgery, and there's no cure for it, so you have to have surgeries to release the tendons and open up your hand again.
So you have to continue doing surgery?
Yeah, so I had surgery here. I had surgery here on December 2021, and you can see my finger is no longer straight. It's already coming down again. So, and this one is coming down again. So I'm going to have another surgery, and this one, yeah.
But that is not goalkeeping.
No. Again, I've got to come up. Maybe you can help me come up.
No,
with some
you
stories.
have to get a story for our kids and for the young goalkeepers.
Well, I don't want to scare them. You know?
No, it's like this is the scar of war.
Yeah.
And tell me, you have family here?
Yes. Yeah.
Wife, kids?
I'm actually divorced, but I do have 2 children, and they're a little bit older. I'm not as young as I used to be, so they're a little bit older.
Perfect. If you can describe me, Phil, a normal day of Phil at 9, 10 years old, what will do? Describe me the whole day.
Wow, 9, 10 years old. That's a long time ago for me.
Yeah.
I think, as a young boy, obviously you go through the school and everything else, but every opportunity trying to find time to be around a football, be around a soccer ball, play pickup games, play in the streets, play in in a playground or wherever. I think as a youngster, again, there was football on TV all the time in England. So as a youngster, it was almost part of the DNA to just throw 2 coats down and have the coats be a goal
kick the ball.
And play.
And it always was goalkeeper, or you played in the field?
I mean, at the time, as a youngster, actually, I got thrown into goal in a physical education class, a PE class.
Okay, yeah.
And I'll never forget, because there was I can't even remember the names, which is scary. So
really?
I was on the playing in school, and it's a PE class, and this player, Robert Winch was his name. I never forget it, because he hit a shot, and I was the PE teacher had put me in goal, and for somehow, whatever, I started to dive. I was diving to my left. It was one of those camera saves, if you like. So it was high to my left. I had no idea what I was doing. I just pushed off, got a touch on the ball, hit the crossbar, it came down, and he headed it in. And then the PE teacher said, "Oh, that's pretty good. Let's see what we can do with this." And that was how it all started.
How old you were?
9, 10 years old. Just started playing in the school.
Nice.
Yeah.
And since then, all goalkeeping.
Yeah. I don't think I was gifted with pace, with speed.
With speed. Yeah. Most of myself, I don't like to run. If when I was training in college, it was like you have to run them 10 miles. I don't want to run.
Yeah.
I was the last one. I don't like to run.
I try not to run unless I'm being chased.
Yes, that's perfect. So, tell me, you came to the States to do a training camp. You stay here. How was your impression? Because in Mexico, the soccer culture is very in. In England, it's very in. Yeah. When you come here to the States, it was not very in the culture in soccer. Yeah. How do you manage to infiltrate in the culture and everything?
Again, for me, I think life is about opportunity, and every day when we wake up, we have a choice to make. We choose how we present ourselves. We choose what we do. We choose what comes out of our mouth. We choose how we interact with people. So when I came over here, again, I went to different parts of the country, so I saw a lot of different places, and I was offered a high school coaching job.
Okay.
And then I was offered, through a different avenue, they said, well, do you want to go back to university? So I was like, yeah, sure.
You took the high school job?
Yeah, I took a high school job for a year over here. I was coaching over here, and that was very interesting.
Okay.
I'd never, again, as you said, soccer wasn't big at the time. So this is 91, 92. Soccer wasn't big at the time. And then I had an opportunity to go back to college. And because I'd actually signed a professional contract in England,
okay.
I was ineligible to play. So I became I started coaching the goalkeepers,
okay.
and playing for another team, actually close to Philadelphia. I was actually
okay.
It's funny how this goes full circle.
Yeah.
And then I really got into coaching. After I finished, I got into coaching. I did a lot of coaching with people like Tony DiCicco and Dan Gaspar, and I was part of their goalkeeping camps. And it gave me an insight into what the American society was really like in football and soccer.
Okay.
And then I got an opportunity to coach at Southern Connecticut State University, which at the time in Division II in American college was probably the powerhouse. And we won the national championship 2 years in a row. And
Division II?
Yeah. And then I was offered, I got my licensing along the way. And
here in the States?
In America. So I got and then I went to do my A license, and the goalkeeping part of the license, and this is obviously licenses have changed, but the goalkeeping part of the license was run by a gentleman called Peter Meller. And in goalkeeping, he's a legend, and he's my mentor.
He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, great guy. And he said to me at the end of that, "Hey, if you pass your A license, would you like to sort of be part of the soccer staff?" And I thought, "Oh wow, yeah, that's great." So
nice.
I passed my A license. I was going to go and watch him work with the 2000 Olympic team. They were going to do a session or a camp in San Diego, and he called me on Christmas Eve of 2000, and said, you can't. Sorry, no, 1999. He said, you can't come to San Diego. I said, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry. He said, but how do you feel about going to Australia? And what do you mean? He said, well, the women's national team is looking for a goalkeeper coach. Would you be interested in going to Australia?
I'm over there right now.
Yeah, I'll meet you there. So, and that's how again, opportunity comes. The women's national team, Tony DiCicco had just stepped down after the World Cup, had stepped down from being the head coach, and I met some amazing people. And while I was in Australia, I got offered the opportunity to go with New York Metro Stars. So now, and things just transpired after that.
Nice.
So you can't script what happened to me. I don't think it's normal. I think in life we're presented with opportunity.
You have to take it, but you have to be there to have the opportunity, right?
Yeah, and then you have to make the most of the opportunity, and how you interact with people, how you conduct yourself, is massively important.
Nice. So let's talk about IGCC.
Okay.
I have the opportunity, the blessing being with you 2 times in Florida. I think was 2017 and 2018. I think so. For me, it was like an eye opener. You bring some different coaches from Europe, and you say something. You have to take from each coach something and make it yourself and try to make your methodology.
Yeah.
Why that is so open-minded that in Mexico is not common? Because this is my methodology, you have to follow my methodology.
Yeah.
Why why do you say that? Because the first time I met you and you were in a classroom, you say that to all the coaches. And all the coaches was, okay, that's fine. For me, it was like, wow, in Mexico, nobody says that.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeping world in general is cutthroat, and we all put each other down, and we all look at each other and say, well, my way is better. This is the way to do it, and this has been successful for me, so this must be the way. And people from the outside say, oh, you have trained so-and-so, so that must be the way to do it. And it's not. Every goalkeeper is different in size, male, female. They all have different physical attributes, so they can't all be trained the same way. You have to look at it, and again, as a coach, I feel personally that as a coach, the game has evolved so much that we have to evolve. Tactics have changed. The ball moves faster. The players move faster. The way goalkeepers move around the goal
It's different.
It's different. It's changed. So, again, I would like to think that as a coach, every coach out there would want to get better. You don't get better with a closed mind, meaning my way is the only way. So for me, I like to encourage people to take a piece from everyone. Oh, I like how you said that. And it might not be, I'm not talking exercises.
Yeah.
It might be the way that you
Express yourself.
express yourself. It might be the way that you interact with a player on the side. You know, how you coach. It might be one word that you pick up and you think, oh, wow, that's a great word to use in this moment. So it's, and that's why the IGCC became so important, and I was so invested in it am so invested in it, because when you bring different coaches from different backgrounds, they all have their own way of doing things.
Yes.
And as I said in my session yesterday, and I'll say it again today because I have a lecture here today, it's not right or wrong, it's just different. You can agree, you can disagree, but you have to be able to give your why. Why do you do this? Why do you train in this manner? Why do you conduct yourself in this way? If you know your why, then no one can say it's wrong.
Yes. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it happens to you, but in my experience, there's a lot of judgment.
Yeah.
I'm training with my kids, high school kids, and a coach. I can see the face judge me outside.
100%.
I don't know if it happens here, but in Mexico, it's very, very weird. I don't know why. It happens here.
Absolutely.
Happens to you.
That's what I said. That's what I mean by the goalkeeping world is cutthroat. Coaches feel that in goalkeeping, everyone feels that they can do your job better. Right.
Okay.
So I don't like the way he did that. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's so easy as a human being. It's so easy to be negative and point out the wrong things. Oh yeah, that's wrong. No, I don't agree with that. But why don't you agree with it? And if you don't agree with it, what would the solution be? Like as humans, think about coaching. You look at coaches who, in coaching, a lot of people. The nature of coaching, I guess, is giving feedback.
Yes.
And trying to help development. But so many people can point out the negative without then offering a solution. And in goalkeeping, like I said, everyone feels that their method is better. And again, I feel like you have to have an open mind. Not better or worse, just different.
Open. But back to when I went to IGCC, I found something that I'm trying to push in Mexico is the GK Union.
Yeah.
I find myself with Big Joe.
Yeah.
I find myself with Adams, the camp shout-out.
Yeah.
And they took me like one of them.
Yeah.
And it was like amazing. Like, come on, Mexican guy, come on here. Let's have a beer. Let's talk about goalkeeping. It's like a great community that you have built around that congress. But in Mexico, it's not like that. We don't help each other. When Big Joe was in the hospital, I forget the name of the camp shout-out. I don't know.
Stan Anderson.
Dan Anderson. Everybody has to buy a T-shirt to help Big Joe. He called me. Eugenio, how many are you gonna buy?
Right.
Give me 3. Give me 4.
Yeah.
But I'm in Mexico. I'm not in the States,
Right.
and they. How do you make that? How do you promote that? You promote it in the Congress.
So the goalkeeping union. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to help goalkeepers get better, but we're also trying to develop human beings, and that's part of it as well. So being a good human being, and all working towards the same goal. We're all trying to do the same thing and help goalkeepers. So by creating an open and accessible community. And what I mean by that is when you come to the IGCC, again, you'll see presenters that you like, you'll see presenters that you don't like, you'll see exercises and everything else that and methodologies and philosophies that you agree with and you don't agree with, and that is part of coaching.
Yes.
But you have to create the freedom within things to disagree. If you understand what I mean.
Yes,
so,
yes.
so if you say, if you're authoritative and say you must do this and this is, then people talk about it behind your back, and So if I come in and I say this is the way to do it, and we must do this and we must do that, it might frustrate people, and they might, if they disagree, I don't give the platform for them to be open and ask me questions on that.
Nice.
That what my vision is with the IGCC is to create an open forum, and you experienced it yourself. We do these lectures, we do these field sessions, you have your interactions, but sometimes the most important interactions actually occur in the bar at night.
Yes.
Everyone's talking goalkeeping until 2 a.m. and
It's crazy.
And you're sitting there, you're talking to the Fernando Ferreira from Benfica or Michael Rechner from Hoffenheim, and they're standing there until 2 a.m. talking goalkeeping and explaining, and everyone is saying, this is why I do this, have you thought of that? And you're all swapping information.
Yes.
And that for me is the ideal forum to allow people to express themselves. And again, not right or wrong, just different.
And when do you begin the Congress?
So that's a really good question, and here's my why behind the Congress.
Okay.
In 2016, in January 2016, myself and Peter Meller taught the last goalkeeper coaching course for US soccer. He and I had, he developed it,
okay.
and he and I and a number of other people had taught for the goalkeeping education in the US.
Okay.
US soccer stopped doing that course because they were moving in a different direction with everything to do with their licensing. So
okay.
the field players became the priority, and since then, there hasn't been.
Okay.
There is no goalkeeping education in the country.
Right now?
Right now.
Wow. I didn't know that.
No goalkeeping. Now it's being worked on. It's being worked on for
okay.
sure, which is fantastic. And I had gone to in November of 2015. I had gone to Holland.
Okay.
And I'd gone to a congress in Holland, just to experience it for myself and try and learn for myself, because I wanted to challenge myself a little bit. And I thought, well, why don't I do this? Wouldn't this? No one does this in America.
Yes.
Why not? So I spoke to. At the time, I'm sponsored by Sport,
yes.
which is a fantastic company, and I've been sponsored by them for a while now. And at the time, Quick Goal, and in America, Quick Goal and Sport were basically the same company. Quick Goal distributed Sport in America.
Yeah.
So I went to them and said, "Here's my vision. Here's my plan." And actually, it was January. It was this convention in January of 2016 that we sat and met with Quick Goal, and I said, "Here's the vision." And in June of 2016, that vision came to fruition with their help.
Wow.
So I put the first one together in 6 months. And here we are now.
Nice. So you have done 6?
7.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
For your own experience, which one was the best?
The first one will always stand out because it was the first one.
Sentimental, right?
Yeah. Every year something changes. Every year something is different. I've moved locations now. I'm not in Florida because I found Florida.
The weather.
No, Florida. The weather's great. You
but
know?
when I went 2 years, it was raining. It's like go inside, go outside.
Exactly.
Inside.
Yeah. So we did it at the IMG Academy, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we had COVID, the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
So 2020, we didn't have one. 21 was virtual.
Yes.
And that presented its own challenges. And then this year was in Wilmington, Delaware, in an indoor center.
Okay.
And that was, again, a different experience for me because I was worried about how people would perceive it. But you didn't have to worry about weather. You didn't have to worry about planes flying overhead. There were no issues for the schedule whatsoever. So actually, for me, doing it in that environment, and it wasn't as hot inside as it was outside because you're indoors. The players, the goalkeepers and players, were able to do multiple sessions instead of,
just one because of the weather.
Yeah, you didn't need sunscreen.
Yeah.
So this one again was a new experience and it went really well. Look, I'll be honest. Every year is a special year.
Yeah.
I've had some incredible presenters, and I look forward to doing that same thing again.
Who helped you build the whole experience? Because when I went over there, you receive us like with a kid with gifts inside and the planning all perfectly set up. Who helped you with everything, with all that experience?
The planning of it, me, no one.
Really?
No.
Yourself?
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Again, my fiance helps me with. I pull her out of work, so she has to get to help present. To give the T-shirts and things like that. I'm the one that goes to the printer to get the T-shirts done. I'm the one that goes to get the signage done. I have an incredible social media company, 710 Studios. Heather Herzen is the person that does all the social media and the website.
Okay.
So that's something that isn't my forte.
Yes.
And again, if you're not good at something, you surround yourself with people that are good.
They are good, yes.
Peter Meller, I have him at every event that I can. Again, he's my mentor and is also a great help. But as far as what do the banners look like, what's the wording on the banners, etc.,
Yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. A lot of work done there.
Again, I said this to someone last night. If you're going to talk the talk, you have to walk the walk. So I say I want this to be something, then I have to do the work to make sure it is what it is. And the trophies that the presenters get and all that, I go and select the trophies or gifts and the engraving and everything else.
You do
no, I don't do the engraving.
No, but go in there.
Yeah.
Can you give us inside information from this year?
For this year,
who's coming?
So right now we have announced two presenters. Gillian Lloyden, the former women's national team goalkeeper and has been goalkeeper coach in the NWSL and is a fantastic coach. Eric Steele, who is they call Eric the guru as far as goalkeeper coaching goes. He's obviously got tremendous experience. You had mentioned one thing before, and you said about goalkeeper coaches from Europe. I bring over coaches from Europe. That's not. I'm actually trying to bring in goalkeeper coaches from South America,
really?
or Central America, because again it's different, or Asia, because
to see different styles.
Yeah, because I don't want the same thing, and we have. I've been playing phone tag this week. I've approached a few other people. and I have people lined up, which I can't announce. I can't give you, but
okay.
there will be different presenters there.
How would you take the language barrier away?
If there is a language barrier, I would have a translator.
A translator.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So right now you're open to registration and.
Yeah, so registration's open, and we've changed things a little bit this year, and that in that people pay one price for the conference,
Okay.
but it doesn't include the hotel.
Okay.
Because I feel like sometimes when you see a price or a cost for something and it includes a hotel, it takes your ability to go somewhere, stay somewhere else out of it. So, people can stay in a different hotel. They can stay in an Airbnb or whatever they like.
Okay. But it's gonna be like one principal hotel, right?
Yes, yeah, and they have a discounted rate, and I've been told you won't find that kind of discounted rate anywhere in the area. So it's a great hotel to be in. Registration has been open. There are discount codes out there. No one, and I'm okay saying this, no one should ever pay what the cost of the conference is. So they should never. It's at $9.95. No one should ever pay that because there's always a code that you could use, a discount code.
Okay. In social media.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do not, if you're out there and you want to come this year, do not pay full price. If you feel like you're going to pay full price, email me, let me know, and I will give you a code.
Nice, perfect. So to end this episode, I have to ask you one thing. Maybe is controversial, but what is your basic methodology? What do you base your methodology as a goalkeeper coach?
It's very simple. The game tells us everything that we need to know.
Okay.
So for me in the methodology, I base everything around actions and movements that are required from the goalkeeper within a game.
In a game?
Yeah. So for example, and I'm going to talk about this in my lecture this afternoon, why do we train shuffling forward through cones or through poles or whatever, and then saving a volley, when the goalkeeper never moves like that in a game?
Okay.
Think about it. Does a goalkeeper ever shuffle forward side to side in
Never.
a game? No. So why do we train it? Why is that part of our training?
You have to change it to move it sideways.
So 70%. So the three role in out of possession, the role of the goalkeeper is to defend the goal,
Yes.
defend the area,
Yes.
and defend the space behind the defense. So that's the three areas.
Yeah.
So the goal, the area, the space behind the defense. When the goalkeeper is defending the goal, 70% of his or her movements are backwards and lateral.
Natural. Yes.
So why is it that we train
Going
hopping
forward.
forward, jumping forward, shuffling forward,
I didn't see that. No?
and then why do we always do it in the middle of the goal? Why don't we do it from angles? Go on social media, have a look. Have a look at different people's training. Why don't we do things at an angle? And it might not be like a 45-degree angle over here, but why do we do things down the middle of the goal?
Always in the middle.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
And if you have a goal, so again, go on social media, look at some of the stuff that you see, and you'll see people that I see people. There's a full-size goal in the picture, and yet they're training off to the side. They're not using the goal. They're using a mannequin and a pole or something like that. When you've got the goal right here. Now I understand you're trying not to destroy grass.
Okay,
So that might be part of it, and if that's the why, then okay.
I cannot say.
But if you're on turf, artificial grass,
Go in the.
and you've got the goal there, you've got all the natural references, the goalposts, and you've got the 6-yard box and all that. You've got all these references that you can use, and yet instead of doing that, we throw down 50 cones, hurdles, ropes. I mean, diving under and over stuff, around.
That's another thing about I see it in your mentality. You use dummies
Yep.
and some glasses, and that's all, right? Equipment and the use.
Pretty much. At the Philadelphia Union, we have an amazing equipment staff, right? And if you were to ask every day in our staff meeting before planning training, I sit next to the equipment manager, and as when the meeting closes, he's already got my session plan, so he knows what's going on. He asks me, what equipment do you need, and every day, if you were to ask him, he would say 2 air toms.
That's all.
2 of the dummies, because you can do so much just with that. If you place them correctly and you use the goal and the 6-yard box. On occasion, I use the flat discs that and we do some stuff with colors and things like that. And we use. I'm a big fan of the synaptic strobe glasses. I love them. We use them. It makes the goalkeepers uncomfortable, which is my job.
Yes.
To challenge them. And we use the swivel vision glasses, the goggles that take away the peripheral vision.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Check them out. They're actually on the IGCC website.
Okay.
They take away peripheral vision. So when you think about kids, when you think about your peripheral vision, sometimes we go to catch a ball and we're actually not looking at the ball because we see it using the peripheral vision. And sometimes even kids are already looking away from the ball as they're catching it because it's a routine save. By taking away some of your vision, now they really have to watch that ball into the hands. So you see the chin move, you see the eyes move, because where the eyes go, the body's going to go.
Okay, yes, makes sense.
So I'm trying to get the eyes to go and get them to watch everything that's happening in the game and really zoom in and have a laser focus. So we use the swivel vision, the synaptic glasses, and mannequins, and that's really it.
I follow you on Instagram, and I see you in different like these events, in your event, and always I see his mannequins and some discs, and that's all. For me, is I also follow. I like Zambade. Zambade. He works like yourself, not too much equipment.
Yeah.
In Mexico, it's like how to say, a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to use a lot of equipment.
So sometimes coaches feel like they've got to use more equipment to validate what they're doing, and you and I step out there and we're competing because I want this boy or girl to come and train with me, and you want that same boy or girl to come and train with me. So we set up our session, and I've got the Pro Deflect net here, and I've got a tarp here that is wet so the ball can skip, and I've got 6 air toms over here, so it looks like a circus.
Yeah.
But my question would always be, how does it relate to the game? And as parents and for your students that are out there, how does it relate to the game? Sometimes more
doesn't mean better.
Yeah. The game itself, if you can create scenarios in your training, the game is chaotic enough. The game is chaos.
Yes.
So can we recreate that in the exercises and the situations that we put our goalkeepers into, not necessarily throwing tons of toys and making an obstacle course.
Yes. Wow. Nice. So Phil, to end this episode, we'll make a game. Okay?
Oh boy, okay.
You have to tell us the first thing that comes to your mind. You ready?
Is this being censored?
No.
Okay.
Okay, the first one. The past of Phil.
Traditional.
The present of Phil.
Progressive.
The future of Phil.
Enlightened.
I know this answer, but your mentor.
Peter Meller.
Your inspiration.
Just to be better.
Perfect. I don't know if you have seen this TV commercial when Peyton Manning and David Beckham.
Yeah.
For you, is football or soccer?
Most of the time, football. But I'm in America, so it's soccer.
You have to say soccer.
Yeah.
Pelé or Maradona?
Ooh, wow, that's a tough one. Pelé.
Messi or Cristiano?
Wow, you're really testing me here. Messi.
The best goalkeeper of all time.
Ooh, that's a really good one. There have been so many. And I may be. You have to. That I don't think there's one answer. People that come to mind are people like Buffon.
Buffon. Great goalkeeper.
Yeah.
One of the best.
You know, and there are some goalkeepers out there today that are still playing. Buffon's still playing. One of my favourite goalkeepers of all time was Peter Shilton, the old England goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And again, he didn't meet a physical profile, but he was exceptional in so many other areas.
He was perfect. Yeah. Your best goalkeeper that you coach?
I've been fortunate to work with
many
great goalkeepers: Brian Ascurry, Hope Solo, Ashlyn Harris, Tim Howard, Casey Keller, Tony Miola, Andre Blake, Joe Bendick, and Matt Fries that are with me right now.
Wow.
You know,
okay, it's perfectly answered with the question.
Yeah.
So, if you are a pro goalkeeper right now, in this time, can you choose which team of all the world you will play?
Yeah, very simple. I'm a QPR fan, so Queen's Park Rangers.
Perfect. And if you're a pro goalkeeper right now, which coach you would like you to be your coach?
So I've as a goalkeeper coach, I would. Again, there are many great goalkeeper coaches out there.
Yeah.
And I enjoy working with all sorts of people. Doesn't matter. I like goalkeeper coaches that provoke thought.
Thoughts.
Provoke thought. Okay. So one of the people that I admire, and again, it's not about exercises and things like that. It's how he speaks. Is Richard Hartis at Manchester United.
Oh, nice.
He's and again, please understand, I have limited exposure to goalkeeper coaches in Spain and Mexico and Brazil and so on.
That's fine.
But Richard Hartis has a unique way of speaking and provoking thought.
Perfect. Nike or Adidas?
Adidas.
Back in the 90s, 80s, the MLS, when the end of the game was tied, they go to shootouts.
Yeah.
Which you prefer, shootouts or penalties?
From a goalkeeping perspective, shootouts, because that's an easier save, I think.
And more funny. Fun.
Yeah.
If you are in the final of the World Cup, you have to choose one of these two. Win 1-0 or win in penalty shots.
Win 1-0.
Perfect. What do you like more in your goalkeepers? You have to choose one of those. Good in the air or good with the feet?
Good with the feet.
Student athlete or pro career?
What do you mean exactly?
Which one, if you have to make the choice back in the day, you will go to student athlete or you will go professional career?
Look, so few people make it as professionals. Like we all have the dream, right? But so few make it as professionals. But there are different ways to make it, and that's again that's important. But I would say pro career, because you can always
step down.
You can always get your education, and for many clubs now, you can get your education while you're playing.
Ah, nice.
So, like, we provide that at Philadelphia, so our goalkeepers or our players can get their degree and study while they're playing.
Ah, perfect. So to end this, I will ask every person that talks in this microphone to give us a phrase that represents him, that he can gives to the people, to the coaches, that will be immortalized in this?
Oh, wow. It's funny you say that because we started pre-season this week in Philadelphia, and I have some goals and aspirations, and I have some things that I need to be better at. And I think this applies to everyone, whether you're a coach, whether you're a business person, whether you are a goalkeeper, a student athlete, whatever. And I've actually written it. So our desk is white, like this one.
Yes.
And we have a dry erase screen that goes across, so we can all write on the screen.
Okay.
So on my screen, in front of me, it says, I wrote it this week.
Okay.
Do the extra.
Nice. Perfect.
And that applies to all areas of life.
Yeah. So Phil, thanks a lot being with us. It was amazing talking to you and knowing your background and your personality. Thank you for giving your time.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna say goodbye in Spanish.
Perfect.
Figuras, tuvieron la oportunidad de ver y escuchar a uno de los mejores entrenadores de porteros que ha tenido Estados Unidos y tiene Estados Unidos. Si tienen una duda, una pregunta, por favor, mándenlo en las redes sociales y yo con mucho gusto se los mandamos a Phil. Listo, nos vemos el siguiente.